Hello friends and welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm really glad you're here. My name is Becca. This channel is all about my love for spinning, knitting, weaving, crocheting, sewing, all the fiber things. I invite you to grab whatever project you have on the go and join me. Let's make some stuff. I'm so excited to share with you my finished Ragna sweater that I'm wearing. I shared the story of two sweaters, which turned into one in a previous video, of how this yarn became this sweater instead of the one that it was originally. Very convoluted tale. If you're interested, I'll link that at the end. But this is a sweater called Ragna from Elsebeth Lavold's book, Viking Patterns for Knitting. I've talked about this book quite a bit in several of my previous videos. I love this book, if you couldn't tell. It is all twined cable patterns, sort of inspired by Viking artifacts, Viking era artifacts. And this sweater in particular was sort of inspired by a medieval feel. At the bottom of the sweater, all around the bottom, there are four in the front and four in the back, square dags, panels, I'm not quite sure what to call them. And you knit from the bottom up in pieces. So you start with a panel and then cast on the next one and knit it and then connect them all. And I wasn't quite sure how it was going to turn out. I ended up actually sewing those together and just leaving the openings at the side. And although where I seamed it, it doesn't look exactly like the reverse stockinette in between the panels. On the rest of the sweater, there's so much going on with this tweedy yarn and the cabled pattern that I don't think anybody's going to be able to tell. I'm super happy with the result. I think it's just fantastic. The yarn is from Knit Picks. This is called City Tweed, which is a blend of alpaca and wool. It's so soft and just cozy. Today, as I'm filming this, it's the first day of summer, so it's going to be a few months before I can actually wear it outside where I live. So, yeah, I'm really excited, happy to share this sweater with you. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have already seen it because I shared it there first. But yeah, finally, finished object, the Ragna sweater. I also have some new projects to share with you. First is a pair of socks. This is so far just a vanilla sock pattern, 2 at a time on the Magic Loop. This is a self-patterning yarn, also from Knit Picks. This yarn is called Static. It's a wool with a tiny bit of nylon standard sock yarn. And this color is called Seascape. I got a couple of different hanks of this self-patterning yarn from Knit Picks, so I've got a couple of different colors. But I started with this Seascape, so it's kind of a turquoise and sandy yellow color that sort of changes back and forth in a bit of a random way. I didn't bother to start the two, well, it's one skein, and I wound it into 2 balls. I didn't bother to start the 2 socks at the same point in the ball, so they're going to be different, but actually pretty well matching in terms of where the thin stripes and where the thicker sections are, so that's kind of cool. This is going to be a standard vanilla sock, at least through the heel. I'm going to do a standard heel, just a standard turned short row heel here. And then I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do on the legs and the cuffs yet, but we'll decide what the inspiration takes us when we get there. So, a new pair of socks for the summer. And then I have not 1, but 3 new projects. My very good friend, invited me to do a spin and knit along that she was interested in doing this summer. She is a very experienced and talented knitter, but she's brand new to spinning, so she wanted to use this as an opportunity to learn how to spin, which I was of course happy to oblige in sharing the craft with someone else. So the spin and knit along is the Attune shawl from Andrea Mowry, or Drea Renee Knits. This is a pattern that she designed to use hand spun yarn, so it's just really perfect for not needing to have too much stress about sizing and how big it's going to be and all of that kind of stuff, what the colors are going to look like. In the picture here, she's actually wearing two different ones. This pattern is available on Ravelry, and again, I'll put all the links in the to everything in the description box if you're interested. The spin and knit along actually started on the 15th of June, and it goes for quite a while. There is a Ravelry page for this as well, for the spin and knit along. And I couldn't wait to just cast on. So I grabbed some yarn out of my stash. For shawl number 1, this is the wool that I was recently spinning in one of my recent videos, dyed lovely in these sort of misty pastel shades by my good friend Charlie of Serenity Dyeworks. And then some undyed blue-faced Leicester that I had some in my stash. These are both 2-ply woolen spun, and the shawl is made with 2 different complementary colors, and it's very interesting. You actually knit it with both colors on each row, but you knit across with one color, and then you use a long circular needle, and then you slide the work back to the beginning and then knit across with the second color. It's using a combination of textured stitches, so brioche stitch, fisherman's rib, neither of which I've ever done before, but the pattern is very clearly written, and there's also links to tutorials for how to do all the special stitches in that. So the beginning of the shawl is knit with this combination of brioche and fisherman's rib, and then there's a garter stitch section to finish it off. So you get this combination. I thought this was a nice combination, and as I said, I couldn't wait to cast it on. So I have, and it's actually a quick knit, which is fantastic. Get myself untangled here. So here is the top of the shawl. We've got the brioche stitch, and so one of the colors sort of pops on one side, the other color sort of pops out on the other, and then it's an asymmetric triangle, so you're increasing more on the fisherman rib side than you are on the brioche side. So you end up with an asymmetric triangle. So I'm really enjoying this knit process. I think that the shawl is turning out beautifully, and with all of this texture, it's going to be just really super cozy. So this is my first hand spun Attune shawl, but I didn't spin it during the spin and knit along. When I was digging through my stash, I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do, so of course I have more than one. My plan is to use this hand spun, so this peacock deep turquoise color, which is a 2-ply, along with this silvery sparkle 3-ply that I spun, to make more of a dramatic version of this shawl. I think that's going to be really cute. So this will be my Attune shawl number 2. Each shawl takes about 650 yards, or 6 to 8 ounces of each color. Slightly less of one and more of the other, because you have one that's going to actually be The main color goes around the outside of the border of the shawl as well. But I have, I think, 8 ounces at least of all of these colors. So this will be my second Attune shawl. And then it is a spin and knit along after all. So of course I have some wool that I'm planning to spin for shawl number 3. And the wool that I've selected, I have this gorgeous, gorgeous black Welsh mountain. So that is a black Welsh mountain top. This is the natural color of the sheep, which you probably can't see against my dark sweater. But here it is. Hopefully you can see it against the back wall. This really deep brown color. And there's some little tiny bits of gray or white in there as well. But that, I think, is going to be a wonderful contrast to, I have to put something down, to this amazing braid, which is another of Serenity Dyeworks spaced outline. I think this contrast is just going to be phenomenally gorgeous once I get it done. So I will plan to spin this in my standard traditional 2-ply woolen spun, and see how we get on from there. My friend, as I mentioned, is going to be learning to spin with this project, so I foresee many wonderful, fun hours spinning together, which, you know, I mostly spin by myself, so this will be really fun to be able to spin with someone else. So that is my summer spin and knit along that I'm participating in, the Attune Shawl by Andrea Mowry. And another new project that I have is a spinning project. This is some beautiful dyed cotton top from Living Dreams yarn that I bought from Etsy. This is just gorgeous in these colors. So I have 2 ounces each of 9 different colors. So I've got this Merlot, deep red color. This one is called Curry in this sort of turmeric yellow color. We have Sage in this wonderful green color. The package that I selected was all sort of spice earth tones. There are some other different ranges, but all of these colors are just super, super deep and rich, and I cannot wait to get spinning on this on my Charkha, which you might have seen in one of my previous videos. I did share that previously, but I'm excited to spin some colorful cotton with this Charkha. So getting back to the colors, because that's very important, we have bronze, which is just like the name implies. This one is called Rust, so sort of a deep orangey color. We have Chestnut, which is a deep chocolatey brown color. This one is called Nettle. It's sort of a light green color. Silver. And last but not least, we have Terra, which is kind of a dusty brown color. Egyptian Cotton Combed Top Roving, again 2 ounces of each by Living Dreams yarn. Plant-based and 100% vegan. So really excited about this. I have no idea what this is going to be in terms of a finished product, but I'm really looking forward to spinning it, and I want to share that with all of you. So come on, let's go and spin on the Charkha. That's it for this video. I hope your summer knitting projects and other projects are off to a great start. I'm really excited about my summer projects, and I hope that you are as well. Thanks so much for spending some of your creative time with me. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!